You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, Black and White Sports fans, I'm pretty sure by now you guys actually know that Molly Qerim is no longer at ESPN or ESPN First Take. Now, when reports came out that she was actually leaving, she actually addressed this. And she said that she would be departing. Now, we were actually thinking that she was actually going to leave by the end of the year. However, that's not the case. She was gone immediately. Like, immediately. When she made that post, she didn't even show up the next day to First Take. Stephen A. Commented on that. And now, guys, we actually know the reason why Molly Qerim left so abruptly. Remember, she was supposed to be there, I guess, another couple of months. Not the case. Not the case whatsoever. Molly's going to be out there doing her own thing. Whatever she's going to do, not really sure. But she will no longer be at ESPN First Take starting as soon as she actually made that post. But now we actually have an ESPN executive that has come out and given a reason why Molly left like immediately. I guess this actually caught a whole bunch of people off guard that this is going to happen. But ESPN themselves, they were not surprised. And really, guys, it all came down to a contract situation. Really. Now, we heard that she was actually negotiating a new contract, but I guess, the money wasn't right. I mean, when it comes to ESPN, guys, look how long it actually took Stephen A. to get his deal done. And ESPN at first reportedly offered him lower money. Stephen A. wanted to be the highest paid person at ESPN, and eventually they got it done. Something's telling me, guys, that the dollar signs wasn't adding up for Molly. Now, Molly is not Stephen A. Smith. They don't need her as much as they actually need Stephen A. Now, I'm not saying that she was actually looking for Stephen A. Smith kind of money. I don't think so. But they probably lowballed her and she didn't want it. Remember, guys, ESPN, man, they laid off a whole bunch of people, like on-air talent. And maybe they came at her with an insulting number. And she said, nah, I'm done. I'm done. So let's go ahead and get into this, guys. Here we go. Right over here, guys. ESPN executive reveals why Molly Qerim's exit was so abrupt. This is on Awful Announcing. Says here, Molly Qerim hosted Monday's episode of First Take. Now, today, of course, guys, is Thursday. She's not on there. Less than 24 hours later, she was no longer an ESPN employee. Even as it has since emerged that the now former First Take host had been engaged in contract negotiations with the worldwide leader, the expedited nature of her ESPN exit remained surprising nonetheless. During his Sirius XM radio show on Tuesday, Stephen A. Smith revealed that Qerim had abruptly resigned from the company, indicating that the departure was made on less than pleasant terms. And it definitely seems like that to me. Speaking to The Athletic in a yet-to-be-released podcast episode, ESPN president of content, Burke Madness, publicly addressed Qerim's exit for the first time. And when it comes to the reason why she left the network before her contract expired at the end of the year, the ESPN executive pointed to the initial report from Sports Business Journal's Austin Karp, which first revealed the UConn alum's impending departure. Quote, this is what he had said. The one thing that was unexpected was the timing of all of this. She, Qerim, put out a statement because there was a report on it. So it kind of got out of our respective controls once that happened. While Karp's report stated that Qerim would be leaving ESPN at the end of the year, a subsequent social media post from the longtime First Take host made it seem like the timeline would be more immediate. Apparently, at least one and maybe both of the parties decided it was best to part ways now rather than spending the next 3 months with uncertainty surrounding the show and its hosts. And we got also some new reports now that pretty much for the next 30 to 45 days, ESPN is going to be having tryouts for the hosting position. So it's going to be a rotating cast of people. It says, even if Molly Qerim has stayed with ESPN, however, First Take will still be searching for a new host. According to Madness, the two sides had already agreed to move her off the morning debate show to focus on new projects at the end of 2025. Quote, while we knew we were going to make a change, her deal ran through the end of the year. We were more focused on that timeline, he said. Yeah. So now we know, guys, that pretty much this report got out there, and ESPN and Molly pretty much said, all right, it's out there. It's going to drop anyway. Let's just part ways now. So it seems like it came down to money, and these contract negotiations got pretty ugly. Maybe it was actually some other stuff too as well. Not really sure, man. Not really sure. But Molly had been at ESPN for a long time. And she was actually hosting First Take for the past 10 years. And now she just instantly left, man. Instantly left. So there you have it, guys. That is the official end of Molly at ESPN. Wow. I don't know if anybody actually saw that coming. The post was surprising, but hey, we were expecting, that she would actually leave, like a couple of months. But nah, it happened immediately. I'm thinking that number they gave her was pretty low, and maybe ESPN didn't want to budge whatsoever, and she found it insulting. Maybe there was also some other personal stuff going on as well. She probably saw Stephen A. get his money, and maybe she was jealous. I don't know. But like I said, Molly's not Stephen A. Stephen A. is everywhere. He's the number one guy over there at ESPN. He's making his money. And hey, I want everybody to make as much money as they can. Make as much money as you can, man. I'm a capitalist. Make all the money you can. If the numbers ain't right, if you think there's something better out there, hey, move on. Don't have a problem with that. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.